Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right, in my living room, doing what I do for you in the wee hours of the morning. Be right back. Excuse me. Today, Rising 25 Rules to Live by Storytelling, story with a message. Oh, there's a message in the story for you today. Let's go. Remember, these are life lessons. I'm giving them to you. You come to get them. I'm gonna keep giving them. Let's go. First of all, right thinking mission is to enlighten you, inspire you, educate you, and hopefully motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Spiritually, get to know yourself a little better. It's all about the spirit. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, having knowledge of self in order to know thyself. And that's the question we always ask. Here you go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I can teach you, tune in. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believe that they know, dangerous, avoid them, I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can wake you up. I'm the spiritual alarm clock. Let's go. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my be true. Life is like riding a bike. You need to have balance in order to keep it going. Motion, perpetual motion going forward. Let's go. Quick lesson. Today I got one for you. I hope you're ready for this one. Right thinkers, we all fear dying. So, right thinkers, let's talk about death. Is life twin and you're going to meet him. Okay? So fearing the inevitable don't make much sense. So I hope I'm going to try to clear your mind and give you a different concept, because fear, first of all, is false evidence appearing real. Just a little tidbit there for you. Okay, but you can't live there. That's what I'm saying. If you let false evidence appearing real run your life, you're not going to live. Okay, remember, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And the human part about us will die, meaning the physical body is going to run out. It's an expiration date. Nature, born, and it dies. But guess what? It regenerates again. It resurrects, so to speak. And the spirit does the same thing. But that's not a lesson. This lesson is about death. Let me give you a perspective and a concept. That's all. I'm not saying this is a stone. I'm just giving you a concept. The body is the actual avatar for the spirit. We call it the temple. We call it the whatever, any name you give it. It is what it is. The spirit that's in it is encased. So it's in prison in the body until when the body ceases to exist and the spirit goes bye-bye. Either it go back home, conceptually, when it's enlightened, which is where all of us good living people know our spirits is going. For all those ignorant people who don't care, reincarnation. That's what it's for. Okay, I understand that. Conceptually, it's all concepts. When you go to sleep, it's another concept. You're practicing, just like I get up every day and practice for greatness to be my best self. When you lay down and go to sleep, you're practicing for death. That's rehearsal. Death for some people who lay down last night and don't wake up this morning, they don't know they dead. We know their body because the body's still there, but he ain't home. So when death comes, the body will cease to have the spirit within it. Okay? And if it comes while you are asleep, that's just what you're doing. You're just a continuation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Get the concept. All right? We can wake up. I hear people say, God woke me up. Okay, I got a different concept about that, but that's fine. It's a good concept. The fact that when you practicing death while you sleep, sometimes death comes to you in your sleep. Some people, that's where I want to go. Okay, no problem. But guess what? The same thing gonna happen if you go old age, if you go by gunshot, if you go by disease, it's the same thing that's going to happen. Spirit don't care about what's going on out here to the body. I'm liking this. All right. If you understand yourself, you know these things make sense. If you don't understand yourself, this is, well, that's a bunch of more. Okay, but again, having knowledge is your free will. Obtaining it is your choice. Remaining ignorant, choice. Death, no choice. It's going to happen with your consent or without. Don't make a difference. Okay, let's talk about death, the other life. Ancients, our ancestors knew that this life here don't last long. Some of us get car accidents, some of us have deadly disease, some of us have situations, whatever, somebody just killed, whatever. But this life here, they knew that this life, no matter what happened doing it, is not long. But they knew that what you did in this life prepares you for what they call the afterlife, which is eternal, which is forever. Big difference. Okay, so they have a different concept how they live their life compared to what we live in now. Think we live in scared to death to dying. I'm just all right. Remember duality? That lesson I gave you about duality. Once God started creating outside Himself, everything came in pairs. Why you think that is? Again, life, death. Get it? Maya. Get it? All these things make sense. I'm just trying to give you concepts that make sense that you can identify with. That's what right thinking philosophy is about. Here we go. Death and life can't exist one without the other. If you're dead, that means you had to have lived. If you live, you're going to die. Simple mathematics, simple fact of life. Okay, death don't compete with life. Why? It's the winner, hands down by default. Why? This life don't go long. Death to the body is eternal. It's dead. The body don't come back. That's what death is to the physical body. Don't get caught up in that. Death laughs at life because of the form humans have to deal with. The body is going to run out. Death don't care. He know without a doubt. You have to come through him. As a parent, and as the breadwinner at one time, whenever we get into a tussle, I get into a misunderstanding with the missus, I would just wait, knowing you got to come my way. So that's being patient. The mountains, they not gonna move. You can chisel and work your way through them, but they not moving. Death ain't going nowhere. Live with it and understand it. That way, you don't fear it. It's there, but live. Okay, death always wins in the end. He has what? Father Time on his side. He know if the clock is running, the clock is ticking like sands in the hourglass. He know you're coming. Sometimes he even speed the process up for us sometimes. We can help out by doing nonsense to help short our life to be shorter by doing nonsense, okay? But that's another lesson. All right, let me get to this. Wow. All right, let me slow this down. Do you believe in afterlife? I've talked to theologians. They don't consider reincarnation. They don't do cremation. They don't do all these things they don't do. That's fine. But I ain't saying it's right or wrong. It's just what you choose to do. Again, in life, that's what he gave us, choice, free will. But let's talk about this. Our ancestors gave examples of what goes on in the afterlife. And nobody came back and told us nothing about what go on in the afterlife. We can only conceptualize and imagine. That's all we have. It's good enough for me. I ain't got a problem with it, okay? But with knowledge, you can deal with it. You have to be able to make a choice you can live with. The choice that you make now is the one you get to live with. I made mine. You can make yours. Free will is your ability to make your own choices that you can suffer and live with the consequences of the choices that you make. The Christians believe that they want to go and stand before God and get the well done, my good and faithful servant, for doing what? Living in this life. Okay, so again, the concept don't change. Heaven, hell is the afterlife, a concept that the ancients didn't have the same we had. They had a concept that, yeah, it's there. And depending on what you do here, will decide where you go there. Simple. Reincarnation is when the spirit is not have not been what woken up enlightened, so it can't go home. Why? It don't know where home is. It's lost. It's confused, so to speak. It has amnesia. It don't know itself. Your job as the human is to wake it up, become conscious of God in you. Hence, right thinking philosophy, master of self, know thyself, spiritual awakening, discovering ourselves, samadhi, becoming blissed out. All those things you can make happen for yourself in this life. All that's promised in the afterlife, but you got to get there in this life, conceptually. Death is like having an endless dream unless you wake up and realize, yeah, I had a joke I tell, when you go sleep at the wheel, when you go sleep, you're driving. When you wake up, you're going to wake up dead. And that's realizing that this physical body is no longer in play. That's all, okay? Death is not the end for your spirit consciousness. Why? Because the spirit and the mind, if it made the connection while you was in the body, it goes back. If the spirit don't know the mind, but didn't recognize, it goes to being reincarnated. Why? It don't know itself. So conceptually, it can't go nowhere but to be reincarnated and hope the person who get it enlightened. That's the game of life that we sometimes overlook. I can break that one down. Again, another lesson. Like, death is the other half of life. Don't fear it. Understand it and realize it. Sorry about that. Your deep sleep state is a form of death. You're here, but you're not here. And that's the state that you're going to go in, depending what you do while you're here. So if you got nightmares and the hellhounds is chasing you because of all the stuff that you did, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. If your heart is heavy and your mind is not right, you're going to have hell. Simple as that, conceptually. All right, here you go. Death is the great beginning in the afterlife for what? The enlightened, the good people, elders who just live a good life, glad to wake up every day because they know one day they may not wake up, but they comfortable in how they live their life. They just treat people right. They live right. Young people, we can do that. We ain't got to wait to get old. That's my concept. Death to the body is birth to the spiritual enlightened. Okay? When this physical body's over, yeah, I'm going home. Why? I know who I am. That's the phrase they left us. Know thyself will get you home in the next life. Having knowledge of that and understand it, learning it, somebody teaching it to you, you can understand it, manifest it for yourself. That's your ticket. Last one. Yeah, it's a little long, but I hope I'm getting this message across. Life and death. If you live, you will die. Physically. Spiritually, you always live. You will always live. There's no death to the spirit. Nature is a cycle of life. Death will go through it again and again. Same trees, the same leaf that fell off the tree, they're gonna come back. Okay? That's not concept, that's reality, that's a fact. But we use that to prove that that concept works with the spirit. That's all. The idea of fearing death is a big waste of your time, thought, and energy. Is going to come to you. Fearing him is what you can use your time doing something else. That's what I'm saying. With right thinking philosophy, you're learning what to do so you won't be what? Reincarnated, meaning you're going to wake up, you're going to know yourself, you're going to know God for yourself, and once you make the connection, that's your ticket. Knowledge of self is how you prepare yourself for the afterlife. That's the blueprint. This is the layout. I'm about to take it home now. I live right. I have knowledge of self. Death is just another lesson in life that I will experience, and I have no problem because when it comes, I'll be ready. Why? I'm a right thinker. You could be too. Pay attention. I got you.